Hey, After Buzzers, listen, the walk of shame is back. And not to put my business out there, I feel like we've all been there. Are you guys checking your white privilege at the door in sex, sex, sex? We had so much sex on this episode. Make sure you stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV super fan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, the lights.
Yes.
All about this
The
right
lights,
now.
the song, the vibe, the bold type.
Very bold type, very boldish. Hey, what's up, After Buzzers? I am your girl, Nakia Monet, and welcome to the Bold Type After Show. Before we get into everything crazy, let's meet everyone first. Usually Allie's sitting here, but she's not here today, and Krista's not here today, but I got some other amazing ladies with me. Karla, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
And we have Veronica, she's new to the panel.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say thank you to the ladies of the Bold Type for having me tonight. I am so excited to talk about the show, finally.
Yes, thank you for joining us. This is very bold type, very sisterhood, and you're always welcome to kick it with us. And shout out to Allie, shout out to Krista. We miss you all. Can't wait for you guys to come back, but we love Veronica, we love Karla. Guys, this is crazy.
This is such a good show.
What a crazy episode. Before we get into it, just to let you guys know, we do have some fan shout outs. So shout out to the fans because we've been reading your comments. You guys have been pretty awesome over the last few weeks. And we have a little bit news and gossip coming into the show too. Ladies, what are your overall thoughts on the show? What are your thoughts, Karla?
I think that I've said this in so many shows, and I feel like I keep repeating myself, but I can't say this enough. I love how Freeform talks about such good topics in their shows, and certain ways that you could go about them, either by fixing the problem or talking to a friend about the problem. And I really admire the show so much because we saw an argument between Kat and
Jane.
Yep. And the way that they handled that whole conversation was so awesome. I'm like, okay, I need to find myself friends who are able to have a conversation with me about bigger topics. Yeah. And I enjoyed it. I really loved this topic.
Growing up. Veronica, how did you feel about the episode?
I loved this episode. I think this was an episode for the first time in a while where it felt like a very big episode because, of course, each girl had their own issue that they were kind of trying to navigate their way through, and it was just so interesting to watch. It was engaging, and I just thought it was great.
It was awesome. And I know we've been saying this in season 1. Shout out to the Bold Type writers, and I'm like, I can always see myself, but actually in the last few episodes, especially this episode, I seen myself, I seen some of my issues. The Bold Type is an amazing show, and we're not just saying that because we're on the panel. It's actually a really, really good show, so let's just kick things off. Let's start with our girl Sutton, aka Red. When the show opens, homegirl is laid up with a really hot guy named Dylan.
She's adding to her number, guys.
Yes, which I loved, by the way, that she was able to. Also, what I love randomly, because women were all different. We look different, we act different. Everything about us is different, so I actually liked how they did the whole number thing. But Sutton wakes up with a really hot Dylan, who's a hot A&R guy, and she has to do the walk of shame to work because she's going to be really late for a pitch meeting. So when the show opens and you see her in bed with this hot guy, what did you guys think? Were you like, is that Richard or who's this guy?
I was hoping it would be Richard, but I kind of knew it wouldn't be Richard, knowing Sutton, and like just from her saying like her number, I'm like, she's the type of person that's just like, yeah, this is normal and I need this, so let's go.
My type of girl.
I don't know. For me, it kind of caught me off guard, to be completely honest, because I don't know if it was actually, I don't remember if it was actually said or if I imagined it in my head, but when everything kind of ended with Richard and then, the slut shaming, unfortunately, that Sutton faced, I thought she was going to take a break from dating. So when that scene opened up and she was, having this fling, I was like, girl.
You're like, you move fast, honey.
No time.
Especially in a fast-paced city like New York City, it's one of those things where it's like there's so many guys and girls, so many different people, and you're just meeting different folks. But you're right, I thought she would take a little break. But I think as a young lady, you're like, hey, I got to get it in where I can fit it in. And sometimes doing that gets you in trouble. And we see that she was late for her pitch meeting, which is a very cool and important pitch meeting with Oliver. And we know Oliver can be very hard. But what I loved is that Sutton can call her friends at a drop of a dime, and they would show up to work with a walk of shame kit.
Yes.
I mean, can we just talk about the walk of shame kit really quick?
I think every girlfriend should have a walk of shame kit for their friends. And if your friend calls you and you're with a man like Jane was, be willing to leave your man to go save your girlfriend. That's real girl empowerment, and I loved it.
That's a beautiful thing, and I feel like I want to invent a walk of shame kit. It probably already exists.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's such a good idea. Why haven't I seen more of it?
Don't steal my ideas. Whoever's listening, I'm creating the walk of shame kit. You have your deodorant, you have your toothbrush, change of jacket, change of clothes. I'm like, how amazing is it to have your homegirl like come and stand up for you? And
Like,
be like,
walk of shame kit that's delivered to your friend, so whenever you need your friend, but just make sure it's a good friend so that your friend can actually get it to you.
A very, very good friend. So our girl Sutton, she wows Oliver at her pitch meeting, and she kind of pitches the whole walk of shame aspect, which, you know, Scarlet is one of those magazines where they would talk about things like that because it's for young, it's for driven women. They talk about sex, they talk about relationships. So I thought that was pretty cool that she was able to. I just love that this season she's wowing Oliver, and I'm so proud of her because, you know, last season she was super scared of Oliver. And
Can I just say one thing?
of course you can say whatever you want.
I want her to wow Oliver, but I don't want Oliver to leave us.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I want her to elevate and grow in her job, but I don't want to lose Oliver.
I know, like, you don't
in the
want her
show.
to wow him so bad that she gets like a promotion and then he has to leave. Yeah, no, I'm not here for it. Veronica, you were gonna say something.
I was just gonna say, like, I loved her stride with pride, or stride for pride, or however she categorized it. I thought, like, own it. Like,
It's amazing.
Yes.
I'm just saying, who hasn't had a walk of shame? We're not gonna put ourselves out there, but I think a lot of us know people.
It happens.
Who had to, you know, we've had to have the walk of shame kit for our friends, and it definitely happens.
I do have to interject. It's Julianne in the booth.
Hey, Julianne, what's up?
You saying this, I had to look it up, and I actually found for $9.99 on eBay a walk of shame kit. Fun birthday gift, cheeky gift.
Oh my God.
Yep. If you do decide to purchase this, beware because the lip gloss and the condom may be expired.
What?
Okay.
The fact
Thank
that
you so much,
someone
Juliet.
might buy that when you could go to, like, CVS and just do it yourself.
Exactly.
Like,
well,
wow.
someone stole my idea, but I think I'm gonna make another one and just advance it a little bit better.
Yeah, you
and
should.
Yeah,
It'd be so much better.
definitely.
This comes with underwear and sunglasses,
What?
but it seems like there's lacking a lot.
Yeah, no,
so
I think I'm gonna do
get
a
on
walk
it.
of shame
Yeah.
box. Thank you so much to Juliet, our amazing engineer in the booth. That's dope. Guys, I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna work on this walk of shame box. You guys will
Definitely.
have to
Let's
subscribe.
contact me, Undies. Get
Yes,
them in there.
let's get them in there. Bold typewriters, if you're listening, we got you. So, you know, the girls are having a good time. They're doing karaoke. And you know, sometimes when you either hook up with a guy, you meet a guy, you kind of want him around your friends. You bring him around, and you guys are having such a good time at karaoke. And he's there to help with the helping hand and his cell phone. But the unthinkable happens. Dylan gives his cell phone to Sutton, and he doesn't turn his text notifications off. And what happens? His wife text messages him while Sutton and her friends are reading the lyrics off of his phone.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
I mean, I wouldn't say crazy nowadays. I feel like
Yeah.
unfortunately we live in a new era where
Yeah.
social media exists, and it's just there's so many. If there was plenty of fish in the sea before, there's like plenty more fish now outside of like everywhere.
Yeah.
And meeting people around the world just seems to be easier. And I feel like there's a lot of people who it's been easier for you to maybe not be as faithful to your partner.
Yeah, it is. Especially with social media, you're sliding in people's DMs. It's
Liking people's
pictures. But I just feel like with social media and the internet, it's just so easy to get caught, and you would think that people would learn their lessons. So when I read stories about certain celebrities who get like pictures taken with girls or guys in bed, and I'm like, you guys have still not learned your lesson because the internet, people are all over social media. You didn't turn your text notifications off. I just feel like I am not condoning cheating at all. Please, I don't want you guys to think I'm condoning cheating. But if you are going to do that, I just feel like there are smarter ways to go about it. Because my whole thing is the disrespect. I do not condone cheating, but I think it's really disrespectful when what Sutton did, she found Allison's number and she contacted his wife.
Yeah.
I just personally feel like I would never want the other girl or guy to
No.
contact me.
No.
How did you guys feel about that when she reached out to his wife?
I think it's not, I don't think it was her place to say anything. As much as, like, sometimes you want to do it sometimes it comes from the heart and you want to do a great deed. But you never know what happened in the relationship that day. Maybe they took a break because they had an argument. You really never know where they stand as a relationship, and I feel like if you're doing it because you think that the guy's gonna get with you afterwards, first of all, no, no, that's probably not going to happen. And I think if anything, it's like, it's not your place to say anything.
It's not. What about you, Veronica?
Yeah, I never felt that Sutton was doing it for the sake of possibly getting Dylan in the end. I think she was doing it solely to look out for the other woman, because maybe she's thinking, if I was in her shoes, I would want to know.
Yeah.
But again, I agree with you. It was not her place. You know, like, that kind of thing should be dealt with between them. And the thing about it too is, you know, you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation, because you don't know how this woman is going to act towards you. You don't know if she's going to be kind. You don't know if she's going to just, like, yell at you.
Stab you.
It's an ugly situation that you don't want to be caught up in. So the fact that she actually went through with it, I was like, wow.
That was very bold of
Yeah.
her to do that. And don't get me wrong, I've been in situations like that. It's real life where you do feel bad, and because it's something not intentionally, you want to help out. But like you ladies said, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not your place. You don't know what their relationship is like. And it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like it can be a little selfish, because I've had moments where I've been selfish where I didn't want that person's partner to hate me. So, and at first I was like, oh, I want to let them know. But in reality, it was one of those, like, I just don't want them to hate me because I'm not a bad person. That's just me, though. I cannot speak for Sutton. But speaking about things that are not bad, that are really good, Karla, tell the fans out there what we have for them.
We have something that's so good for you, you can't deny it or miss out on it. So, first of all, hey AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that tailors made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're totally optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes. Thanks, Karla. You guys are pretty awesome, and we love you guys. Speaking of someone we love, Jane. We all love Jane. Who can love Jane? So, like I said, there was a lot of sex in this episode. The episode opened with people hooking up. We got Sutton hooking up, and we finally see Jane and Dr. Ben having good sex. I mean, I don't know if it was good or not, but it looked really...
It was pretty steamy.
It was hot,
it was
right?
steamy. It was steamy. But she left him. I was like, first scene we get of you guys together, and then you just leave him.
It's very hot, but I think that was a pretty awesome scene. So our girl Jane, she's kind of living her best life, but not so much, but she's in this, like, limbo. She's looking for a job, but she meets a really cool guy. Her ex kind of swings back into the picture. So it's like a weird love triangle that's going on. So Jane has a lot of things that's going on, and I feel like she's in a place where a lot of us we're confused, we're emotional, we don't know what's happening. So our girl Jane, she's working with Ryan, aka Pinstripe, and he says to her, you know what, I know someone at a magazine, and I think you would be the perfect fit for it. Let's get you in for an interview.
Yeah.
Jane goes in for an interview, and she wows it, like, kills this interview. At least that's what we think. And she gets the bad news that she doesn't get the job because they were looking for more diversity. Have you ladies ever been in a situation like that, where this is something you've always wanted, or maybe you know someone who's always wanted a job and you either didn't get it because of, I don't know, any type of reason, but you felt like, I could have gotten that job. I did such an amazing job. Why didn't I get that job?
From personal experience, I have not. But I have had friends that have been in that same situation where they feel like they went in and they killed it. But most of the time, I feel like if they didn't get the job, it was because they didn't meet all the qualifications. Like, even though you know your friend and you know that they're going to kill it, there are certain times when, like, if they're asking for 2 years of experience and you only have one and you're lying on your resume, like... It's like some of those things will come through. So, yeah.
It's tricky.
Yeah, I can't say I have ever been given the knowledge of knowing why I wouldn't have gotten a job. But of course, that it does go through your head of like, I could have done this job. I felt like I was a fit. I clicked with the people I interviewed with. Why didn't I get it? And that's just a natural thing that's going to go through your head of, why didn't I get it? I know I can do this job.
Yeah, I've definitely been in those situations where I've applied for jobs and I'm like, I know I'm perfect for this. Why didn't I get in? There's times where I've even thought like, man, it's something to do with my race. It's something to do with my gender. I've definitely went there. But Kat brought up a good point to Jane, and we're going to go right into Kat, where she says maybe someone else was a little bit more better than you. And I thought this episode was a really good episode because the Bold Type lately, they have been touching on really serious issues. And this issue tonight was the issue on white privilege. And this was a situation where we have Jane going for this interview. She lives in Greenpoint. If you know anything about Brooklyn, in Greenpoint, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, Brooklyn. Greenpoint is an area in Brooklyn that is highly gentrified. So Brooklyn, all of Bed-Stuy, all of Bushwick, all of Williamsburg, super, super gentrified. If you guys seen the show Girls, that's where Greenpoint is. So you see Jane, she lives in Greenpoint. To us on screen, it looks like she's living her best life. But then on the other end, you see this woman of color, Angie, who is amazing for the job. She should have got the job, but she just wasn't qualified because the board thinks, you know what, she didn't go to college.
Yeah.
And so we see Kat in a predicament where she's like, you know what, I have to fight for this girl. This girl is everything. She's killing it on Twitter. She's going to bring our numbers up. Why wouldn't she get the job?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was really cool that the Bold Type would show both sides and they will go back and forth between Jane and the young lady, Angie. So how do we feel about Angie? Do you feel like we might see Angie a little bit more in the show?
Yes, I think we're going to see Angie, and I think it's going to be great to see her strive in the show.
Yeah.
And like just kind of hear her different voice and her different point of view that she's going to be bringing to Scarlet.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bold Type, though, because I love the whole Black people snack time with Oliver, Alex, and Kat. And I did read, because I was doing a lot of research, because the first episode is the episode where Kat, her race came into the episode.
Yes.
And I read a lot of comments on YouTube, and I know a lot of people were like, Nakia, how come you didn't touch on it? And there was a reason why I didn't, because I'm not biracial and I can't speak for biracial people. But I was doing a lot of research, and I was reading that the Bold Type, they listened to the fans from season 1, and they're going to write a lot about Kat's race. They're bringing a lot of that into this season. So I thought it was really dope that the Bold Type, they listened to their fans. So now we're going to see more. And I thought it was cool that they brought up the culture appropriation in magazines, because that's a thing that's happening right now. Boxer braids, that was a topic that was happening. I'm wearing braids for those who can't see us, but who are listening to us. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought it was dope that Kat did her thing and she pitched Angie to the board. And it showed that, like, and the one thing about the Bold Type, which I love, it's kind of like the millennials versus Generation X / baby boomers, where you have a board, which is all older people, mostly men. And then you have someone like Jacqueline and Kat under her who's like, nope, I'm going to fight for what we want.
Yeah.
We need change. We need diversity. So I thought that was pretty cool. Did you guys feel a little awkward when it came to Kat kind of checking Jane on her white privilege?
To some extent, yes, it was a little awkward. I think it was smart of Kat to check Jane, but I think Jane clearly wasn't thinking exactly when she was speaking. She kind of was just speaking emotionally.
Yeah.
And to her, it's like she was speaking from a place of, I need to get a job. I don't have a steady income. I know I'm good for this job. I do, like, as I had said before, I think it was smart of Kat to check her because of how it was coming out, but I don't think she meant it as a place to be. I don't think she meant it to be hurtful.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool when you can talk to your friends like that, because of friends, we have so many friends from different backgrounds, races, religions, genders. And I think it's a great thing when you can talk to your friend and say, no, because your friend may not see it that way. And I love that they were able to have that conversation. So I was on Twitter earlier today and I was reading the Bold Type, like their chat, because their fans are amazing. And one young lady, she wrote on Twitter, she's like, I love this combo about race. As a white woman, I recognize my privilege, but I understand that many other white people do not. Do not complain about diversity. Diversity makes a difference for many people. Hashtag the Bold Type chat. So I love that this show is one of those shows where it opens a conversation for people who may not know that they have white privilege, women privilege, man privilege. They may not know these things. And I love that, this show can actually start a conversation where you might have a friend like Kat who might be nervous about talking to one of their friends about something like that. So I love that the show showed that.
And I personally thought that it was great that Kat kind of checked her, especially because we know that where Jane was coming from was definitely not from a bad place. But at the same time, she hadn't even looked at the privilege that she had. So even though she didn't know what she was saying, because she's never had to look at herself in that other perspective, because she's never been on the other side.
Right. Which I love that they showed that, because that's real life. Sometimes people really just don't know. And I think it's bad. It's like after I tell you and you still like, I don't care. That's when it becomes bad. But I think for someone, when they actually sat down and she was like, no, I just don't have insurance and you live in a really nice apartment. I just really wanted a job. For her friend of color to be like, no, think about how other people feel on the other side. So I love how they did that.
I was hoping that she would write a pitch about it.
Right? Like a nice piece. Like, and I think we predicted this, like when we said she's going to go through the struggle where she's going to try to find a job, but we think that she's going to either blog or like all her personal experiences. I think it'd be cool if she wrote a piece about that.
I hope so. That would be so awesome if she created her own thing and she was her own writer, because people would totally read the stuff that she writes.
But one cool thing that Jane did do about checking her white privilege at the door, she covered Angie's shift. So for those who listen who doesn't know who Angie is the young lady who went on the interview and Kat really, really wanted to fight for her in the boardroom. But Angie, it's real life. We've all been there. I cannot leave work. Even if you want to go for an interview for something you really want, I have to have this job because I can't lose this job. And Jane did one of the most amazing things. She's like, you know what?
I'll show up for you.
I'll cover your shift at a rec center that I've never worked for before. How'd you guys feel about that?
I think that was such a nice gesture in a way for her to kind of redeem herself for what she said to Kat and the argument, and then in a way also like giving back. That was like her really good deed for the day. She's like, well, actually I'm not working and I should be working, I should be looking for job interviews, but if I could help somebody else out to also get a job since I'm in the same position, then here we go.
Same. I think that it was a very nice gesture obviously towards Kat and towards Angie, but I also think it was a moment where Jane kind of said to herself, I educated myself on the matter. I checked my privilege. And she goes and she helps her because she knows Angie could do a good job. Yeah. And so I think there was that extra element to it that I really enjoyed.
That was amazing. That's what, the bold type writers, you guys are really, really good. And I feel like they pay attention, one, to social media, because there were a lot of social media language in there. And it's always a life lesson on the bold type. It's like, even though they go through something, at the end, it's like a Full House moment. They hug it out. They've learned their lesson. And they're like, we live happily ever after.
They rosé it out.
You can't go wrong with roséing it out.
Never.
Never, ever, ever.
Can I also bring up how, Angie's speech was very inspiring, but not only that, when Kat said she has 16,000 followers and a 70+ response rate.
Hello.
Yes. I'm like, those numbers are insane. From a business standpoint, how are this board even saying numbers make money?
Yeah. And I think as soon as she said money, all their light bulbs went off and was like, okay, you know what? We'll let her in. And that's
we want 76% too.
Speaking about letting in, I know a lot of you guys can't visually see us, so for those who are listening to us on iTunes, we really do appreciate you guys. I know we talk a lot about YouTube, but we never forget about you guys on iTunes. We love you guys so much, so we would really appreciate it if you guys can give us 5 stars and give us a rating. Let us know how you feel. Let us know about all the topics so far. What's your favorite? Do you want to see Richard get back with Sutton? Who's hooking up? Who's not hooking up? Make sure you guys give us 5 stars. We're super humble. We're kind of begging. Yeah. We're begging. We love it. So I do want to say we did get a 5-star and we got a really cool compliment on iTunes. TS Fashion says, love, love, love this podcast. So we really do appreciate you guys. We appreciate all the comments. Same thing for those on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys give us a thumbs up. And we read all of your comments. I comment back. Allie comments. Everyone, we talk back to you guys. So make sure you guys do that because we really do appreciate you. Layla. Do you guys remember who Layla is?
Oh, how can we forget who Layla is?
So for those who don't know, Layla is the really hot girl who Kat was introduced to at the bar when Adina went to meet her friends, her girlfriends.
It was Layla's birthday.
It was Layla's birthday. Layla's really attractive. So Kat, when I believe they're at karaoke and they're having their meltdowns, Layla just happens to be at the bar, and their conversation, there was some vibes going on. Were you guys feeling the vibes, the sexual vibes?
There was vibes coming from Layla, and then Kat picked them up, and she was just like, how do I react to this?
It was a lot going on. It was so much that our girl Kat had a sex dream about Layla.
She did.
Also very steamy.
Very steamy. Where we got
steamy.
Scared when we thought it was real.
Okay, when it started happening, I was like, wait a second, we just talked about cheating.
What's happening?
So I was very confused and I was very worried at the same time. I was like, she can't be cheating on Adina right now. Like, come on.
That's crazy. I mean, it's natural, but it's crazy because one, I secretly think that Layla and Adina hooked up because Adina was kind of scared to even bring Kat to that party, and a lot of the women there have seemed to hook up. And even Layla kind of hinted, she was like, "Yeah, she's just my friend." So I feel like...
But the way she said it, you know.
Yeah, like I feel like Adina may feel some way, not because Kat likes Layla. I think it's because Adina maybe hooked up with Layla. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Are you guys like nervous about this whole, do you think... Well, I guess we can save that for predictions. We'll save it for predictions. But I did feel a very sexual vibe from the two ladies. And I feel like...
I mean, not only do we feel it, but we even saw a preview of it.
It's very this episode should have been labeled like sex, sex, sex. There was so much sex in the episode, which I love. I don't know about you guys. And speaking about more sex, you know, Sutton is doing the walk and she's kind of walking home, but you know that feeling when you're like, I think I should pop up on my ex. And
I feel like she wasn't walking home. I feel like she was walking ready to go see Richard.
Yeah.
Because the girl was like, oh, you know, if you have a good man, it's like you should keep your good man. And she let go of that man.
And then what happens?
Not forget.
Richard's getting out of a car with a young lady.
Which, let me just state the fact
Karla's
that
not here for
I
that.
do not appreciate how fast Richard is moving from this relationship.
But
to your point,
yes, Veronica, let her know.
well, no, I was going to say something different. I was just going to say, like, maybe it's not what it seems. I don't know. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, but, you know, Sutton did break things off. And I get why she broke things off because she wants to have a career. And I totally get it. And I agree with her. But it's one of those things where it's like, is he supposed to wait for her?
No.
Realistically?
No.
You know?
Realistically, no. Not.
For the sake of the show?
Yes.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah. But does he have to? I don't think so.
No, I don't think he has to.
I think we have to take into... why am I forgetting every word I'm trying to... Consideration.
It's okay, girl. Same.
The fact that he is older and he might want to have a family sooner rather than later. Like there's many different factors that when you're dating somebody that's older than you are, and he's not going to wait for her to get to his age when he's like 40 or whatever it is, the age difference. So I don't think that it's like he has to wait unless if it's his choice of like, actually, okay, I need to wait.
Yeah.
But also Sutton said that there was no chance that they could be together. Meanwhile, she said this place, which is really sad, but it kind of goes to show in a way, like, this is a little bit getting off topic of just like Sutton, but also including Jane. I love the fact that like, even though Jane is in this limbo of she doesn't know what she's doing with her career, she's able to appreciate the fact that Ben is already a doctor, and it doesn't bother her that Ben's already where he's been working his whole life to be. And I feel like Sutton was a little bit like, not necessarily selfish, but yeah, the fact that she's like, oh, well, like, I'm not where you are today, so I can't be with you.
Yeah.
It felt more like that rather than like, oh, well, I don't want to make it to the top. I don't want people to think that I made it to the top because of you. Because honestly, who cares what people think? It's more like if you're showing your work and people are seeing that, like, you're not impressing him, you're impressing Oliver and the people that you're working with, and people see it when you work. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like, oh, I just made it up here. Like, if you just made it up there, then of course some questions are gonna pop up, but.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like, you know, who cares what people think? But I think Sutton was coming to a place like it was affecting her work because of the side chatter in the office, and I think she wanted to protect not only her reputation, but she wanted to protect like her work environment. She didn't want it to become like this toxic place where people were talking about her. Yeah. So to that degree, I understand.
But that didn't stop them from talking about her because they still thought that she was with the other guy, with Alex.
It didn't, but I think it's one of those things where you can now eliminate it. You may talk about me, but like in the month, you're not going to talk about it anymore because you're not going to see it.
But it's because she addressed the subject with a girl.
Yeah, but I think she couldn't have had done that if she was still messing with him. Because it's like, I can't address you because I'm still having sex with Richard. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But we obviously see that they still have chemistry because they bump into each other. And she even asked Richard to help her girl Kat. And I still felt the chemistry.
That sexual tension was so intense. My
God.
God.
So real. I was like...
Thick. I'm like, oh my goodness. So it's one of those things, and we have a little bit of some things for news and gossip where we might find out something about them, but it was really intense, and this was a really cool episode, and I love that the Bold Type, they're really getting into these topics, and I love people on Twitter, and they go in. I thought it was pretty cool. let's get into some fan shout-outs.
Yes, let's do some fun shout outs. First of all, you guys, we really, really, really appreciate you guys tuning in every week, watching us, giving us a like on YouTube, on iTunes, wherever it is that you listen to us. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Some fun fan shout outs for this week is going to be for our YouTube fans. The first one is Thinker, Melwat, Yara, Carmela, Mary Adele, Bree Lynn, Dawn Fan Forever, Red Black Girl 99, and Kay Basie. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We see your comments. We see you guys here. And we're so glad that you guys tune in with us every week.
We love you guys. And again, like, we love the topics. We love the debates. That's what this is about. Like, let us know how you feel. We appreciate everything about you guys. Let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Ooh. Veronica, you got some news.
I do. So clearly, the way the series has gone so far, they are setting up a great, what appears to be love triangle between Jane, Pinstripe, and Dr. Ben. However, according to an article published on ABC News Radio Online, that might not be the only love triangle we see.
Okay. I'm here for it.
I love a love triangle.
According to both Matt Ward and Sam Page, who plays Alex and Richard respectively, according to Matt Ward, he says, being a part of a love triangle, things are never resolved. I think I was pushing for the Salix, and possibly Salix could be returning. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
And then Sam Page, who again plays Richard, continued on saying, the relationships in the show feel very real because nothing's ever just clean cut and packaged like that. It's messy like life is, and love triangles. What's messier than that? A love square?
This is getting messy.
I like a
so
love
Karla,
square.
you might be getting your little relationship back, but it looks like they might be throwing Alex back in
I feel like this is my relationship plus 2 more.
Exactly, because I said this, I predicted, I was like, Alex is back, but I feel like it's one of those things where, like, you don't like someone at first, but and they did hook up, but she's single now, and I feel like she might play, she wants to play the bases, and she wants to see where it's all at, and I think she still might entertain Richard, she might entertain Alex, a Dylan, another hot guy, and another hot guy, and I'm here for all of this.
Don't get me wrong, I loved her relationship with Richard, and clearly the sexual tension and the chemistry is still very much there.
Hot.
But I really liked her with Alex.
Me too!
And I think, I don't know, I think it was because not only she could get along with Alex as a friend, but I think in terms of career, like, he was so supportive of what she wanted, and like, he never once doubted, like, I'm giving these like style credits to you because I'm your friend. I'm giving them to you because you know how to style me, you have a good eye. And so I liked that he was always very supportive of her.
Very cute. Karla loves Richard and Sutton.
I love Richard.
Don't worry, I feel like we may get some teases, we may get some Richard and Sutton. Well, let's get into predictions.
Let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
All right, ladies. Veronica, what are you predicting?
Oh man, I mean, can we talk about the clip that we saw?
Yes, we
at
can.
The end of that?
Yes, we
okay,
can.
so obviously, Kat has the sex dream of, was it Layla?
Yeah.
Layla. She has this sex dream, and from the looks of it, Kat is coming forward immediately. It appears that obviously she's going to tell Adina about it. I don't know. I don't think she. I think she might. I changed my mind. I think she might, but should she? I don't know, because this is so new to her. It's kind of like when you think boys stop having cooties, and it's like every boy is cute to you, you know? So this is completely new to her. So I don't think it was maybe as bad as she thinks it is. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I like that. That's true, because you're right. This is a new world to her, and she's meeting new women, and she's seeing other different women, and different women from different realms. And I think it's one of those things where she's like, oh, she's cute, she's hot. Wow, he's cute, So I think it's one of those as well. What do you think, Karla?
My prediction actually doesn't include Layla.
Ooh.
It's about the same topic, but I'm gonna jump off from the news and gossip. I think the love square might actually be Richard, Sutton, Alex, possibly Adina. I don't know if that would actually be a square, because obviously Adina and Richard wouldn't be together.
Right.
But I feel like Adina might be connected with Alex, just because I feel like we've previously seen a little bit of like chemistry. We don't know if Adina comes back at the beginning of the episode, at the middle of the episode, or at the end of the episode. So either anything could happen. Either Kat could potentially be out with the girls having fun. Alex is there. Maybe a kiss is like exchanged. Anything could happen at this point.
I agree with you. Since episode 1, I've been saying I think there might be an Alex-Kat relationship. So I do think the square is going to be Richard Sutton, Alex-Kat. And I also seen in an article where, I think it was online, where the Bold typewriters actually wrote back a fan. And they said that going forward, you're going to see Kat and Sutton with something to do, either they're not questioning their sexuality, but it's going to be something to do with sex and relationships. So I feel like Alex and Kat might be happening, but also Alex and Sutton. And I feel like it's going to be very tricky and very weird.
I feel like Alex and Sutton is going to happen only because Alex and Kat is going to happen.
Yes.
I can definitely see where both of you are coming.
Yeah.
And I think it would be very interesting if they went that route. As much as I want to believe Richard getting out of that car with that woman might have just been, it's not what it thinks. Maybe she was an old friend. Maybe she was a relative of some sort. I want to believe that it was just a misunderstanding. But maybe she could be the fourth, whoever the woman was he was walking with.
That is true. That's very true.
She could be the fourth.
We're being shady. We're like, yeah, Alex and Kat. And actually, she's probably the fourth. Yowzers. Oh, my goodness. All right, y'all. This was such an amazing episode. Again, we love the Bold Type. We love the writers. We love the show. We love our fans. We love all you guys. Before we go, peeps, tell everybody where they can find you guys on social media. Veronica?
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, Veronica Valencia. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at itsmeveronica_V.
And hey, guys, I'm Karla Beltrán. You can follow me on Instagram at @IamKarlaBeltrán or on Twitter at Karla Beltrán with an R at the end.
Hey guys, you guys can follow me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom, and make sure you follow us on AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Give us some 5 stars, give us some thumbs up, iTunes, and all that good stuff. You can even listen to us on SoundCloud. We love you, we appreciate you, and we will see you guys next week.
Ciao.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.